We will not copyright or trademark that. We do not have the rights to this at all. Please do not sue us. Thank you.
Welcome to These Unprecedented Gays, featuring Joe Granelli and Paul Smith. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, and review wherever you stream your podcasts. Check us out on Instagram at tugayspod and email us at tugayspod@yahoo.com. We hope you enjoy.
There was thousands and thousands of employees. Somebody would just do send it to everybody, and it would. This was thousands of people would get some type of email, and then people would do a reply all.
Yep,
and it would take days for it to die out.
Stop.
Oh my god!
We would have that happen.
Inevitably, like 2 weeks later, someone would come back from vacation and do it again.
We would have those two where it'd be like someone would send it to like the whole company, and they obviously didn't mean it, and then people would be like, "I'm not supposed to be in this. Remove me," and then that's what would start the chain. And then I'm like. I had this happened probably like 20 times at my last job, and I had to create an email rule, and I had to learn what that was to like filter the whatever messages into like the trash.
What I love with those kinds of chains though is when you get one or two people then who get instructive, and so they reply all telling other people
how to do it. Oh my god!
This. I'm like, wait a second, you just did it. You should.
Yeah, you just resent it again.
But it's like you don't have the mental wherewithal to like think. Maybe don't reply to this.
Well,
just
like,
what's
that we would have the technology that somebody at IT could be like, "This is happening. We're going to go in and just like pull it out and stop it."
And maybe they do now.
Maybe I don't know.
IT probably loves it because they're just like, let this all fucking burn.
They're probably like watching the drama
with
unfold
popcorn,
with like their popcorn and their tea, and they're just like, let's see how this turns out.
And they're like smoking Ethernet wires.
We broke the internet with that.
Yeah.
So I'm Paul,
and I'm Joe,
and we're These Unprecedented Gays.
Yeah.
How was your week?
It was very minimal.
Okay.
The highlight of the week was that I undecorated Christmas, and that like we had our
undecorated.
I say decorate weird, so I can't say decorate.
Okay.
I say duck, like DUCK.
Okay.
Like decorate. I also say breakfast instead of breakfast.
It's a Bay
so it's that it's that ECEA. I don't know what the
DUCKER the number 8.
How do you say Breckenridge?
He does.
I don't know what that is. Breckenridge?
It's in California.
How do you say Worcestershire?
Worcestershire. There are some words I don't like. I don't know where I got it from either. Like everyone in my family says breakfast. It just feels weird to say like breakfast. Like I'm having breakfast. It hurts to say it.
Breakfast.
Breakfast.
So do you pronounce the G in lasagna?
No.
Okay.
Lasagna?
No. But I also say button instead of button. And I also
I am so late.
I don't quit.
And I don't say the T in often. I don't say often.
You don't say often?
No. And it's like, you know how there's like certain words that you're like very attuned to when you hear people say it and you're like, oh, they say it that way.
I don't need to offend you.
You're good. Offend you. But like I say often, like a soft F. Okay. But a lot of people say often, and both pronunciations are right.
Oh.
So anyway, I removed the Christmas decor from
packed up the Christmas decor.
Right. She got down and got into boxes, and I was happy about that because then I could vacuum the area that didn't get vacuumed for like a month and a half. Because like there's you have a tree skirt too. Like vacuums don't do well. Like the Roomba doesn't do well with a tree skirt. So she had to stay out of the area. And I don't want to vacuum fucking carpet on my own. Like, I don't do that. And that was kind of my whole week. I mean, really, really lackluster.
Joe got to live his best porno fantasy today. Why? Because the plumber came over to fix the pipes.
Wow.
And he just jiggled it a little bit, and then we fixed it.
So our garbage disposal was not working.
Okay.
And I know like there's a little button on the underside that you can press sometimes, and it'll like reset it. And like it was doing the humming, and I'm like, ugh. So we had to put in like a work order request and all this crap.
Wait a second. You didn't just put the little Allen wrench in and turn it?
Didn't know that was a thing.
We didn't know that was a thing. We should
So
have used
now
Reddit.
Eric from Painting Plumbing or whatever, he gifted us the little Allen wrench.
Yeah, he gifted
that
it.
because he's like the blades are stuck together. He came in and it was there for like maybe 30 seconds. So it was like, all right, you're good. And I was like, well, hopefully this is an easy day
cute?
for you.
He charged your landlord.
Oh, I hope.
I hope so. I hope he charged them $500 for the hour because they won't reply to putting an electrical charger in the fucking garage. Suck it, landlord. I doubt he's listening to this podcast.
We had our garbage disposal just crap out right before Christmas. And
This Christmas?
Yeah.
Oh,
and
no.
So when we were baking all that stuff,
Oh, no.
it just stopped. And it
no.
wasn't that issue because I know enough to try to fix that.
Yeah.
And we just had to replace it, but I did replace it myself.
Well, that's what I was telling Nick. I was like, I could just replace this. And he's like, don't. And I'm like, okay, fine.
We don't. It's not our property. Like, it's bigger liability for you to go in there.
I did it after the landlord told me it was okay.
Yeah, like that would, and I feel like you guys have a different relationship with the landlord.
Yeah.
We're like 3 layers of property
I would have just done
managers.
it. Like, they would have never known.
Okay.
They would have never known.
So when the plumber was there, were you like, gosh, it's such a hot day.
Yeah.
Would you like something to drink?
No, it was pouring rain. It was pouring rain, and all I was like thinking about was this man's gonna track in mud.
You should describe the look of the plumber.
He was just like, I would say 40s. He was like
Daddy.
good, decent looking.
Eric, he sounds hideous.
I mean, he was fine.
But
I mean, he was on the phone with somebody the entire time. So like, he was on the phone when he came in, and then was on the phone while he was doing
he was
it.
like, the gays. They
Who
love
knows?
You just stay on. I've had more run-ins with the gays here. Just stay on the phone with me.
Yeah.
Right. He's
Was
like,
he wearing
oh
overalls?
no, he was in regular clothing.
Until he got to your place.
Yeah.
He didn't even have tools with him.
He had a tool.
Oh my god! So I think
You told
Nick.
us he left the crank with you.
I think Nick wanted that fantasy, and I've learned today that Nick has a plumber fantasy.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I think everybody has a plumber. If somebody tells you they never had a plumber fantasy, they are lying.
I'm that person. I'm like, no.
liar.
Unless
Liza Minnelli
a
lies.
plumber is like, okay, the only plumber I want to see is an Australian man and a budgie smuggler coming in on a hot day, but not too hot because I don't want him to be sweaty, but tanned.
Oh, so
and
there was an LGBT film festival short about that. And this guy was like getting his hot tub repaired, and this gorgeous guy shows up, and it was actually really very
okay,
much
then
like
that's
that.
the plumber that I would appreciate. I don't need no Mario in my apartment.
What do you mean?
You're already the Mario in the apartment.
I'm like, go away.
Yeah, he already filled out.
Well, I was like, oh my god, Max is gonna freak out, so I had to put him in the office, and then he was whining, and I'm like, oh my god, this
And
is
he just you don't want your dog to see you being a slut.
no,
The plumber.
no. He sees enough of that every day.
Can I just pass you the tools?
I don't have a fantasy about plumbers or like construction. Maybe because I grew up with like regular like this is gonna sound bad, but like regular interactions with like plumbers because my dad did general contracting, so like I would help him and like there'd be stuff
that
there.
would make it even worse.
I'm not a tradesman person either. So yeah.
I know that sounds bad. I'm not nothing against the electricians, the plumbers, the other things, the bricklayers, the tilers,
The pipe layers.
Although, like, a construction worker, again, like, if you're a construction worker, and this is not real life, because, like, no constructor is going to be in, like, a denim vest, like, doing a jackhammer with, like, ripped arms.
But nobody should ever be in a denim vest, period.
But a construction worker should be, like, a hot construction worker.
No, but like in the summertime, they'll wear their little orange thing.
High vis.
Right, I'll see them. and like Daisy Dukes.
All right,
This is like a rabbit hole, and now I want to know what everybody's fantasy would be.
I told you.
You said that yours is like a locker room thing, or
No.
public shower. Or
Not
something.
really that. Like, My like fantasy wise, like just again like a hot man in a Speedo. That's all I need. Whatever you want to do. You want to come deliver me food?
Swim practice.
Oh, there we go.
So yours
there is a gay
fantasy.
There is a gay swim team in San Diego. It's called Different Strokes, and I wanted to join them, but I'm like, might be a little arousing.
There was a really good documentary about a gay swim team in LA, like in West Hollywood.
Oh yeah, okay.
And apparently still around.
Oh.
But.
Anyway, we're very much off topic. So that was my week. How was your week?
Mine was good. We finally got something that I ordered weeks before Christmas. Finally came in for Andy, and I got it. It was actually like one of those Instagram kind of like
oh no.
ads. And I was like, I ordered it, and I was like, oh, it's called a Dee Can't Her. And I was like, oh, it's for wine.
Oh, I get it now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it looks like a penis.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh, that'd be perfect for Andy. I always get him a decanter anyway for Christmas every year. So I was like, okay, so this would be perfect. And it comes in, and it is like basically what somebody... You got your grinder, and then what you get in real life, which shows up at your house. Like, I thought it was going to be a regular size decanter. No, it's mini size. Like, you could possibly put like maybe like one glass of wine in there, and then pour it out.
It also looks kind of like a sex toy.
Yeah, put this in there.
It does kind of look like a sex
But you
toy.
don't want to put glass in your ass, listeners.
Why not?
Because, oh my god, that
Maybe
could
that's
shatter.
tight. Oh, well, I mean...
Do not put... Oh my god, do not put that up your
Maybe
butt.
that's what your fetish is.
It is not my
Do
fetish.
not kink shame somebody for wanting to do that.
I'm not kink shaming you. I'm just saying it is highly dangerous to put something that could rip your butthole to shreds.
Well, glass. Yeah.
Like that dick.
This is pretty sturdy glass.
Yeah.
Please don't put it up your butt. Cut to you guys in the ER.
I am not.
But I'm like, what if I filled it up with milk?
It could be your creamer for your coffee.
Yeah.
Oh, that could work.
There you go.
Just a couple of squirts.
Okay, my question though is like,
shake it to get it out.
how would that decant though? Because like I thought a decanter is like you pour something and it goes through it.
Right. Well, no. A decanter is a place in wine. A decanter is so that you can add aeration to the wine. It helps like soften a wine when you first open it up, and it adds oxygen.
I was about to say, open it up is the term, but also it's very sexual.
Yes.
So maybe that's what they were talking about. It's a decanter, like to open you up.
Couple of fingers in there.
To open you up.
This is disappointing.
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, it's when you look at it, it's actually average size.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, it's a handful. That's all you need.
It's a pretty good size.
It's not the length, but the girth.
Well, and it's also it's not the size of it. It's what you do with it.
Right. It's not what is it? It's not the size of the ocean. It's the
not the size
motion of the
wave,
ocean.
It's the
there
motion
you
of
go.
the ocean.
Oh my god.
And so that was like basically it.
When did you order it though? Like
I ordered it like the beginning of December.
oh my god.
But it had to come from China.
Oh okay.
So one of my gifts for Joe for Christmas, similar like Instagram thing, took a month. And it was supposed to be there like before we left and didn't show up until after.
So the takeaway is don't order things from Instagram.
That I had my identity
Right.
again right before.
I got a text message today, and I thought of you because it was spam. I didn't reply, but it was a text message that says, "Did you receive the gift I sent you?"
Don't answer those.
I deleted it and I moved to junk.
Did you hear about what happened to Andy Cohen?
No.
Oh.
Somebody stole a ton of money from two of his accounts because he got caught up in one of those like text messaging scams.
Oh, no.
Where like they were like, well, he did all the things that they told him to do to forward his calls to, so they had him. He ended up forwarding his messages and his calls to another number, and they were like, "Oh, don't worry about it. That just happens. It's not a big deal." And so anytime his bank would call him to verify that the transaction was correct, it went to the scammers and not to him. And like, I'm like, dude, you are like,
rich.
How do you not know that? Like, you need to go to your bank. If you see anything.
He basically got a scammer to get him to forward his phone calls.
His phone calls and everything. And then he also, like, because you get sometimes those text messages where it's like, oh, here's the code that you need.
A one-time an OTP or whatever.
And so he would text them that too. And I'm like, that is like, you are not a 90-year-old like grandparent. Like, why do you not?
I feel like he should be very embarrassed, but also he's a hot mess.
Well, and I found out it was Anderson Cooper. He called the pass around party bottom.
Oh,
not Andrew.
Does it
not Bowen Yang or Matt Russell?
Does it make it better when it's your friend? Because aren't they friends?
There's big. Yeah.
So if you call your friend a pass around party bottom,
you on national television with 50 million people watching. Oh my god!
Anderson Cooper has got $200 million in the bank. So
but also, I'm still surprised that they're allowed to host because Andy Cohen had that big where he not yelled at the mayor of New York City, but was like, the mayor sucks or whatever. Remember? Was that 2 years ago or last year?
I don't remember.
Well, they historically get pretty drunk. And
right.
I think it's become something people want
to watch for. Yeah.
But I mean, shame on us as viewers for promoting that. They're not at fault.
I'm sorry. I'm here for it.
I just love it because Andy gets really sloppy drunk, and then you have Anderson Cooper, who is also the heir to the Vanderbilt dynasty.
He's trying to keep his shit together.
Trying to be
Wait, he's the heir to the Vanderbilt?
Yeah.
How?
Because
his parents.
His mom was at Vanderbilt.
I love how he's like, how?
I didn't know
he loves a woman.
I didn't know. I had no idea he was that.
He's royalty.
Oh, so he's got old money.
Oh, and we watched Saltburn.
Okay,
I want to watch it. Is it worth the watch?
I've seen a lot of Instagram things.
So here's the thing: you don't stop watching it after the first 20 minutes, even though you might want to.
Okay, but what's the premise of the movie?
Nope.
Nope. Oh,
it's isn't it? What would I say? It's not an erotic thriller.
It's a psychological drama.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's a psychological erotic drama.
So lots of.
I wouldn't even say erotic. I would say sensual.
Oh. I'm here for it.
And it's with the guy from Euphoria, right?
It's the guy from Jacob Arati from Euphoria, and Barry Keoghan. I don't know how to say that.
Yeah.
From somewhere.
Well, and he's the one that keeps popping up on my Instagram of interviews with him, and
right.
I'm like, what?
Because there's some very interesting there are a couple of points where in the movie that people talk about a lot.
Okay,
that really stuck.
How do you watch
Eternals.
it?
He's from Eternals.
It's on Amazon Prime.
Okay,
it is definitely worth.
Yeah, definitely worth a watch. But definitely stick with it. Okay. Because the first 15-20 minutes you're like,
Carey Mulligan's in it?
And Carey Mulligan, and you don't even recognize her. And the worst part is it's her name in there is poor old Pamela poor sad Pamela. When you do the pause on Amazon and do the X-ray and it shows you who's in there with the name of their character.
Yeah.
It came a poor sad Pamela.
Oh. The Amazon X-ray is actually the perfect thing for Joe. Because a lot of times when we're watching shows or movies, he's like, oh my god, I know that. Who are they from? And it's if we were watching on Amazon Prime, we could pause right now and it would say who it is exactly.
Yeah.
I'm that person. I am 100%. Wait, what else is she in? And I'm like, pause it. I'm going to look it up.
That's why I wish Netflix did that too. Because that little X-ray thing that Prime does
is so bad.
Joe loves
it. I just have Paul and he can tell me that off the top of his head usually.
Well, and I also like that they tell you the song that's playing in the background.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I don't have to Shazam
They
it.
do a good thing until they start putting commercials in. Still bitter about that, Jeff.
I can see that.
So there are moments in the show where you're going, what the hell is going on? It's just weird. Or the dialogue. The dialogue is so people don't really talk this way, or you wouldn't say that with the person in the room, But
Interesting.
it is all very intentional.
Okay.
Cannot wait to watch it.
Okay.
Yeah. Really
Saltburn.
Saltburn, yeah. So, all right. Well, time for mouth to mouth. Mouth to mouth resuscitation. And if you can hear chewing, that's our intern, Baxter, doing on his bowling stick.
Oh, intern.
He's calm. What is it? Calmed? What were the shoes that you had?
That's what's giving me
calmed.
life right now. Is
I know we
Calming
need to get those. We're gonna go to Petco right after this because it's miracles. Because we have some for Max and like it doesn't really work.
Go on Chewy and just get him on auto renew.
There you go.
I mean, I don't want to like sedate the animal, but Daddy needs a break.
It's not
so
sedation.
homeopathic. It's chamomile, like chamomile tea.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So he's just
Like
having a
sleepy
tea time.
tea.
Oh my god, I love sleepy time tea with valerian, but like extra sleepy.
I just like the box as a bear with a nightcap and
It's
a pajama
cute.
on, and I'm like, oh!
That's called an Ambien with your sleepy time too.
I have never done an Ambien, and I'm like, I would love to know how I obviously know how they work, but like if it would work with me, you know what I mean? But I don't have any like way of like getting it unless illegally in Mexico.
I mean, hey, there you go.
I'll just talk to my doctor. Hey, I'm like having some trouble sleeping. I need some A. I need some Ambien. I want to have a good night. But no, so what's giving me life? I have two things. So we're going to be
We're going to start with Joe then, I guess.
Eric the plumber.
Eric is not giving me life. You're going to have, you know what? Live your plumbing fantasy in your own time. Yes, I'll start. Thank you. Thank you for picking me. So we're going to Big Bear, and it's going to be really, really cold. So what I'm kind of like, what's giving me life and what I'm obsessed with is going on YouTube and finding ways to stay warm, like clothing and layering options. Because like I have like a puffy jacket, but like it's a San Diego puffy jacket, and like
define really, really cold. Because in Big Bear, when we've
like
gone by
20
midday, you can't wear a jacket. It's
no,
too hot.
it'll be snowing and like cold, like 20s.
You know you can order these like warming
Hot hands.
Yes.
Oh, I don't have any now, but
I have
like
a whole box of them.
you do.
Yeah.
We got hot hands.
There you go.
They're great.
You know, in like North Dakota, 20 is a short stay.
Right.
Yes, it is.
So, but for me, it is very cold. Because when we were up in the Bay Area for Christmas, he's putting the dick to his with his mouth. Sorry, the Dee Can't Her. But when we were up in the Bay Area, it was really cold, and I had like multiple layers. I'm like, I'm still cold. So I'm trying to find solutions, if you will. And then my other thing that's giving me life is, I think I talked about this already in another Giving Me Life, but it was Andy! Don't put it up your butt! He's not putting it up his butt.
I'm going to get a text message. I need you to go home now. From Andy.
I know.
I need to go to the hospital.
I call 911 before calling you.
Oh, you need at the hospital.
So, okay, but here's the question. If you put it up your butt and it broke, how would you get to the hospital? Because you can't drive.
Why not?
Or would you walk there?
In a recline.
Yeah.
Or would you like...
call
You know,
Uber.
like, there are Instagram people who do X-ray tech and stuff, and they post like the crazy things they find in people's butts.
Oh, yeah?
Oh,
Like toy cars?
Like Richard Gere's hamster?
give up your search history and see what.
Look up your search history.
Give up, like just put crazy things people put in their butts.
Oh, my Lord. So... The other thing is that podcast about, it's called Over My Dead Body, but I'm on a different season.
Okay.
And it's about this lawyer who is shot in his garage, and it's pretty good.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh, Lord.
Fork? Ow. How many forks? That looks like a lot of them.
A set of tongs? A Lego butt plug?
A bouncy ball.
Cement
got
mix.
a Lego butt.
People...
I love how they have aubergine instead of eggplant.
I love how it's like the actual x-ray of what it is.
Oh,
like,
a mobile phone. Hey, sorry, you can't come to the phone right now.
It's like, hey Siri, put it on vibrate. Okay, call me.
I would just call myself.
That'd be great.
Actually, the amazing thought about that, dude, is that person at some point in that process got to the decision, I need to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
Like that moment of, oh, fuck, this is not
That can't be real. An aerosol can?
Oh my god.
I think they are real.
Oh.
We should ask Dr. Carlson.
Yeah.
That's a next time we
Yes.
see
good.
What have you seen?
We'll have to have him on again.
So what's giving you life?
So, okay, I have two things giving me life, and they are both having to do with the New York subway system.
Okay.
So the first one is this video of a guy eating a full-on lobster meal on the subway, like cracking lobster, and everything.
On the train?
On the train.
Oh, Lord.
Like, it is the weirdest thing, but I'm like, okay, live your best life, bro.
Did he have like a plate and everything?
It was just like, he got a takeout, but it's like, it is a full-on lobster dinner. Like
with like the metal cracker thing?
I don't know if he had the metal cracker or not, but he was there. Yeah, he's cracking the lobster and everything. He's sucking out from
my God.
one of the legs.
Oh my God, it's on the seat.
It's on the seat. Yeah, he's like, look how much space he's taking up on it. He's taking up like 3 seats on the subway.
Clearly it wasn't in rush hour.
I feel like people that probably ride the subway were like, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. It's like, this is not the weirdest thing I saw today.
I've seen way worse.
Yeah. He didn't stick up his butt, so I'm good.
Or did he?
Oh.
There you go. The other thing is videos of people who are circumventing the new toll. Like when you go into the subway system, they changed it from turnstile because people were jumping over it or going underneath it. And now they use saloon style like
like
doors.
those, like when you exit the airport?
Correct.
Oh.
And so now people are piggybacking on people going in. So, like, I saw this one video where it was, like, a guy paid for it, and then 8 people rushed behind him in a line to get through the door.
Oh, my God.
Well, and the crazy thing is they designed these doors to avoid fare skipping.
Yeah, fare evasion.
This was a multi-million-dollar study that they did.
And it didn't work.
It did not work.
And then there are other cities where they're not like saloon, they don't open like this. Literally, it takes like 6 seconds for it to open and close. 3 people could go through easily. But like in other cities,
they're quick.
2 panels that just come straight out,
right,
and straight back in,
and they'll cut you.
Yeah,
right.
the one. I think it was like in London or something. They had that one, and I was like, okay, they don't wait at all.
No.
So it's interesting to watch these videos and like see how many people actually get through.
Oh, that doesn't help. Yeah, those aren't going to do shit.
So that's what's giving me life.
I have one too.
Eric the plumber.
No, as of 2024. Mickey Mouse is in public domain.
No, it's Steamboat Willie.
Steamboat, which yes is the original Steamboat Willie, and Disney's going to do their damnedest to make sure that their version of it is.
And yeah, because it's like Steamboat Willie looks a lot different than how Mickey Mouse looks right now.
Yeah.
The thing that I will be interested to see, because Winnie the Pooh is also in public domain. In the last couple of years, there's been some like weird shit.
There's a whole like S&M kind of thing.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And so I want to see what's while I don't think that people will ever try to like compete with Disney, and
there's no way.
There's no way. But I want to see like what is going to be like the things that kind of are like the iterations of that they can do now, because Disney even to the point was like, people wanted to have stuff on their like gravestone, and they're like, "That's copyright. You can't do that."
Right? Yeah.
So, like, just some of the I am excited to see.
Well, and I'm sure Disney has a whole team
of
people to like look at this kind of stuff and everything. Because like I just heard that like Luke Combs, like his team, he didn't know that this was happening, but like there was a cease and desist, and then a woman was charged like. Hundreds of thousands of dollars because she was selling stuff on Etsy with Luke Combs' likeness. And he has a whole team that he didn't. He's like, I know that they were going after like the big guys who were like overseas and stuff like that, but didn't know it was like this like woman who was trying to sell like mugs to like pay for her surgery and stuff. And it was like
the other thing about
that's so sad.
So I went into like this public domain rabbit hole, and some things that are coming up in the next like 5 or 10 years are things like James Bond, like 007.
How do these things get into the public domain?
After the copyright is a limited right.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
it's
like,
after the
creator.
It's
95 years.
70 years after the creator's death.
95. Oh yeah, 70 years after their death.
Right.
Like,
they can. So that the way they get around it is that they then, because you can have trademark, like copyright and trademark. There's various differences, and like one of them is like if it's being used as something, you can't use it. So like if it's in use or whatever, like.
Did you find this on Law and Order?
No, I found this. The Stuff You Should Know podcast talked about copywriting.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe it was another one.
So that's why like Disney's Mickey with the
We'll never
because it's such a different version of
because they have it as a brand,
and you can't like call Steamboat Willie Mickey Mouse.
No.
Correct. But I'm waiting for that like weird horror because Pooh when there was that Winnie the Pooh horror movie that came out.
Yes.
So now I want to know when are they going to make the Mickey Mouse horror?
It's probably already happening.
Yeah. So I like that public domain stuff is really really interesting to me, and especially as you get I get older, some of the things that I loved as a kid.
It'll be. I think it'll be very niche.
Well, it'll be niche, but I'm all for
I said almost said
you
niche.
can sell niche. You can say niche, but you can't say breakfast.
Yeah, I'm fluent in French. You know what? I'm gonna have a quiche at breakfast.
All right. So the holidays are over, but I was reading somewhere an article about a woman who had a "Am I the asshole?" question, and it was a holiday based, and I was like, "Ooh, this is good." Not that all. So it's like we need to have another "Am I the asshole?" episode because I found some really interesting ones, and I like to get everybody's take on it and what they think.
Same.
But the one that made me think about this is that a woman, from what I understand, she and her family, her husband's family. They go to the mom's house, or her mother-in-law's house, of course. Almost every
It's an MIL. It's always the MIL. Also, the acronyms. Like there needs to be like a key or like a legend. Like what is SIL? Poster. What is MIL? What is like all these other things? I'm like I don't fucking know. Anyway.
And I'm always like I 27 F. And
right.
Is that your Asian female?
Right. It's almost like you have to decode, and I'm like, just tell me what the fuck. Just write it out, girl.
So her family goes over to the mother-in-law's house every Christmas, and everybody has to open all of their gifts in front of everyone. So not just the gifts that she got you or you got her, but like all of your gifts. You bring your gifts over to her house and you open them.
Why?
That's just how they've always done it. And
okay.
That's what they do. And so sometimes that has created problems. So this past year, her husband saved up enough money to buy her a designer bag. She didn't say which designer, so I'm like...
well, as we know, all of them are now under one umbrella.
Right. And I'm like, all I could think of was that line, hopefully it's not Michael Kors, because you could get Michael Kors
if you were fucking Michael Kors.
So anyway,
it was Channel.
I was like, girl, if we're having all this drama over a Kate Spade or a Coach bag, I swear to God,
it better be Dooney and Burke. That's all I know. Louis Vuitton. I know that one.
This better be I was going to say this better be a Birkin bag. Yeah. Okay. So anyway,
I want a Birkin bag.
You would.
They're $40,000.
Then you need to get to work.
I know, Paul.
I know. I would leave it behind. Anyway, sorry.
Thank you. Nick's like, I would take it everywhere. I'm like, no, you wouldn't. That would be $40,000 down the drain. Anyway, so they have to open their presents.
So her husband saved and scrimped and everything and got her the bag that she wanted.
Okay.
So, but she didn't want to open it in front of the family because it would have created problems because of how much it is. They're not like super well off, but they do okay.
Yeah.
So she didn't want to create drama. So what they did is they opened it at the house, but the husband had another gift for her to open in front of the family.
Okay.
So they did that. Fine. Everything went off without a hitch. So supposedly she posted a picture with her family with the bag in the picture, hanging on a chair. And one of her friends commented, "Oh, that's such a gorgeous Christmas gift."
Oh, God.
And somebody in her family saw it, and it spread around, and then it created all these problems like, you think you're better than us? Why did you do that? You ruined our Christmas. I'm like,
stop
Christmas
it.
is already gone. What the hell are you talking about?
Because she got a designer bag?
Right. Okay, so like, who's the asshole here?
The family. Not her.
Well, I'm like...
I thought she was being considerate.
I do too, but like also, you're kind of the asshole. Like, just let them fucking deal with it. At the day, like...
Well, yeah, it's a little bit codependent to be that concerned about how everyone else is going to perceive you.
Correct. Like...
I feel like if
you know it's going to create problems already, just get it over with.
But it's like, if it's an unsafe scenario that, like, you can't open up a bag because your family's toxic, like, maybe that's a bigger thing to unravel.
Maybe.
Right?
Let's unpack that gift box.
So that's designer level.
I feel like I can understand... The fact that, like, making you open up gifts. Like, what if this was me and Nick, and I'm like, I got Nick that beautiful glass dildo,
which I, for whatever reason, can't seem to put down.
You've been rubbing that thing all night long.
It's a magic lamp. He wants 3 wishes. And we are literally, tomorrow you are going to be in the motherfucking ER with glass in your ass.
Just because I want to hold it doesn't mean I want to.
That's how it always starts. I just want to touch it.
He's like, I just want to hold it. I'm not going to do anything with it.
Oh my God. Jesus Christ.
So anyway.
Well,
but also I think that's a good point, because I'm like, if you, like, Annie and I have the kids over.
Yeah.
And they open the gifts. But those are the gifts that we give them.
Yeah.
Like, we don't expect Sarah and Ron to bring their gifts over and for them to open their gifts in front of us.
We opened up our stuff before we went home to my parents for not Thanksgiving, for Christmas. Because firstly, I didn't want to lug it around.
Right.
And your family,
my family is over the fucking top. Like, it's too much, too many gifts, and I didn't even really give my mom a list. And I'm like, there's so many things that, like, I thank you, but like, I don't need these things. Like the kids,
now I gotta put this in my car,
right?
Take it home.
So, but my biggest issue with that story, that the family is, it's like, it's a requirement, and like, if you don't do it, then like you're an outcast. Like I have a lot of problems with the family dynamic.
I would stop going to family stuff. That was
right, or I would just be like, it shouldn't have caused a rift in any relationship because the husband saved up for it. And like, why is it a problem with what he does with his money?
Right. We're coming on Thanksgiving. We'll stay home on Christmas.
Exactly. Like I'm sorry, you're all adults. Like, if you want to buy something, go buy something. Like, why is this the thing? And also, if you're insecure about your finances, don't project that onto your sister or your brother or whatever.
And listeners, if you had crazy family drama this Christmas, write us at
Preach. Tell it. I know, because I didn't have any family drama, but I love the drama.
That's TUGAYSPOD@yahoo.com.
Okay, when you ever, you know how like you have to give like spelling over the phone sometimes? What if you would have to do 2 gays? What would you spell it? Like
T as in Tom, U as in unicorn, G as in giraffe, A as in apple, Y
Damn,
as
you
in
are
yellow.
Quick.
Because I have to do that.
Oh, you do this all the time. Because I'd be like, T as in Tamagotchi, U as in undulation, G as in gregarious,
X as in Christmas.
But like I tense up when I have to do those things. Like, okay, like how do you spell? It's Grinelli. G as in Grinelli.
When I do that at work, I have to follow the military.
Oh,
the phonetic
alphabet. So like Tango, Alpha,
Bravo,
Rutabaga,
Charlie,
Cornish.
It's golf.
So what's your first one?
Okay, so I have 10, but we are not going to get through all these. But I was like, let me go through these. I'll start with one that's short. So, so before we get into this, like every time I see the acronym AITA, I always think of like a girl. I'm like, that's AITA. So like, and they'll be like NAITA for like not, or NTA for not the asshole, and it's like AITA. But like everything, like it's like AITA. So like the first one I have is AITA for my best friend's son eating my special gummies. So I have the like consensus from Reddit as like also, and then we'll get our consensus. So this story goes: my best friend, again, 28 female, and her son 7M. I'm guessing 7 years old.
7 years old,
right? We're over visiting for a Christmas party. Sometime while we were visiting, her son went into my pantry without permission and found my hidden special gummies. Before we had seen what he had already ate, he had a couple. He ended up being fine. Upon finding out, she flipped out on me, wondering how he got them. I then explained and was very apologetic, but she wasn't hearing any of it. She's still very upset about it, and I don't know if our friendship can recover.
Okay, first of all, beat that damn kid because that's his fault for going around stupid.
Right. So, okay, the consensus from Reddit was not the asshole. But I agree. It's like, but like, don't have your child snoop.
Well, it's like, also,
where are your manners?
Like, okay, if it was, show her where it was at and be like, the only way he would have known to go over there is if he was looking for something where
Right.
he shouldn't have been.
I'm
how
kind of
about you
like,
take
I
control of
mean,
your kid?
now you got a kid on weed, so good for you.
If she put it in the pantry, though, in a big, bright, clear glass jar that said, eat me.
Right.
Or if it was like out on the countertop, or like it was tucked away in a pantry. You can't.
Right.
Get over it.
That was like, okay. Yeah. So
She's not
I
the
think that
asshole.
I feel like the mom needs to maybe have some of that weed to calm down.
right. I'm like, look, your kid is not running around my house right now.
I know.
Acting crazy. So I think it's a great thing.
But in an hour and a half, he's going to be really hungry.
And hallucinating.
Yeah.
The one thing, when I was reading this, I was thinking about when we saw, oh my God, what was the guy that did the hairspray? What's his name? John
Waters.
Waters. The one thing that he said that was really funny was like, oh, over this holiday season, put marbles in your medicine cabinet, so if people open it, you'll know that they're snooping around.
Which is hilarious.
That is hilarious.
To which I'm like, you right, John
You-
Waters.
There's really marbles in there
pro
all the
tip.
time.
Yeah.
Right. So the friend could have put marbles in his pantry or cupboard.
And then he would have slipped, fell, broke his head, and then the friend would have been like, "Oh my god!"
No, because he would have been high.
See, we couldn't do that because, Linda, will put stuff that's on the counter up in the medicine cabinet.
Oh yeah, we don't.
Have,
No, we don't need to.
couldn't
No,
have
we
that.
don't need a
There's times that
Linda.
I'm like, "Where did this go? Where is this?" And I'm like, "Where is it?"
I love you, Linda.
I love her so much.
I love you. I do.
Oh,
What is your tamales?
Her mole was delicious.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing the tamales. We could have had tamales with mole.
Ugh.
See?
Next year.
Next
We
year.
actually have some.
Maybe
mole
she's
left
trying to
over
divide
if
us.
You want some. If you want some.
It's delicious.
oh,
All right. So mine is a woman, and she works at a restaurant, and she's talking about these 4 women. So during my shift last night, a group of 4 women in their late 20s came in. They were a pleasure to have as customers. They ordered 4 of our house cocktails to start with, and then went over the menu for their entrees. But everything went to hell when she overheard one of the women say she was 14 weeks along. The server kept eavesdropping and writes that it was clear to me that she was pregnant.
Ooh.
So when the woman ordered another round of drinks, the server secretly took matters into their own hands. This time, I went to the bartender and asked him to make one of them a virgin cocktail. He was confused, but since he's a good friend of mine, I told him to just trust me. She kept switching them out for virgin ones while they were drinking, and I figured that since she didn't notice, things were okay. But when it came time to pay the bill, the bartender had put virgin on the bill, and the patron saw it. So she asked the waitress about it, and a tense confrontation ensued. The managers got involved, and the server was put on leave until further notice. The manager also informed me that I could get the restaurant in serious trouble for discrimination, and upon examination of my state's laws, she is correct. So my problem with this is you took it upon yourself to make a decision for someone, and you say you knew that she was pregnant.
So
you
because
are not
she-
an OBGYN.
No, you're not.
Well, and so what was the? She said she heard her
She
say
heard
something.
her say something about 14 weeks along, and she said that she was kept eavesdropping and
Could have been about a
realized
different
that-
thing. She could have been talking about a friend.
Unless you saw her pee on a pregnancy test,
Yeah.
you
She
do
would be
not know.
14 weeks along on a fast,
Right, or she could be
That's
14
true.
weeks along on a new job,
Or a
14 weeks along on
fitness journey.
project.
Yeah. Oh.
And not only that, but also the fact that you were upset that the bartender put virgin, so you were going to steal from this woman. Because
Right, 'cause you were
virgin drinks are not as expensive as cocktails
Oh,
are.
so she was going to
She
take
was still
the
going to
pocket
charge
money.
her for cocktails, even though she was getting virgin drinks.
Oh
She is the asshole.
It's kind of
my
sanctimonious. Like I know better than you what's right for you.
God. Right.
Well, and not only that, but that is not your place. First
No.
of all, and second of all, it's not your body. My body, my choice. Okay,
It's true. It sucks. And even if she was pregnant and
that's still not your
if she was,
problem.
it's still not your problem.
If you had an issue with it, go to the manager.
Yes. If you have a problem, hey, go to the manager.
Or
and,
even
like,
talk to the table and be like, "Hey, I'm so sorry. I'm not sure I can serve you just because I'm under the impression that one of you might be pregnant. So I just don't feel comfortable doing that for my own beliefs."
Yeah.
Yeah, there could have been other ways to help. Like, oh, I'm sorry. Did I misunderstood you? are pregnant. Oh, okay.
Right. I thought I overheard that somebody here was pregnant. Is that correct? Are we celebrating that?
Yeah.
That would. Yeah. I feel
that'd be a great way to
Yeah. The intention seemed. I think the intention was pure, but the execution was terrible.
Yeah. That's.
I would say. So there's the options are not the asshole. You're the asshole. Everyone here sucks. I would say everyone here sucks.
Because I don't think she's necessarily an asshole or he or she, but you were wrong.
But you're kind of the asshole for just assuming.
Yeah, that's also true. Yeah,
and you're not only putting your own job at risk, but you're putting a whole business at risk.
Correct. Yeah. It's a liability. That's because they can sue. She could sue. Yeah.
So.
Oof. Okay. My next.
That's a deep one.
Well, this one is not as deep. It's just it's a little lighthearted. So it is AITA for washing my clothes at 7:30 a.m.
Okay.
No.
Listen to the story.
And this is not Nick.
Oh my God! It's like in the beginning. It's like in the beginning of Proud Mary, and she goes, "Listen to the story, y'all."
I saw this meme, and it was about "Am I the Assholes?" And it was like, could you imagine just scrolling through Reddit and seeing a very specific "Am I the Asshole?" and you realize it's about you.
There, honestly, the things people post on this Reddit, it's all day long, nonstop, and it is poppin'. While I was looking, new posts were created. And I'm like, y'all need to get a life. I mean, I'm unemployed. At least I'm doing something productive. Okay, so am I the asshole for washing my clothes at 7:30 a.m.? Okay, I live in an apartment complex and we have 3 roommates. 2 of them, I guess an apartment home, or a shared thing. 2 of them are currently out of the house because of the holidays, while 1 of them is still here. I needed to do my laundry because I had to work and had a doctor's appointment. I was going to do it yesterday, but my roommate's laundry was there and she is bad at taking it out immediately. I thought it was fine since I could just do it in the morning. Fast forward to the next morning, I wake up at 7 and plan to do my laundry at 8, but it takes an hour to wash, 2 to dry, and then I have to leave at 11:30. So she's in a time crunch, or he, or they. So I decided to do it at 7:30 to give myself some time. I was worried about my roommate, but I heard her moving in her room, closing doors and stuff, plus her room was at the very far end of the apartment, furthest away from the washer and dryer. She left at 7:45 and I didn't think of her anymore. However, it turns out that my other roommate was home. This roommate has her room literally next to the dryer and washer, so it's louder for her. She also works night shifts, so she tends to sleep in late. I didn't know she was home, mainly because I haven't heard anything from her in the past 2 weeks, and she had also said she was going home for winter holidays. She ended up texting in the group chat to stop washing clothes in the morning, and if it could do it later in the morning. I apologized for waking her up, but also told her that no one says anything about her doing her laundry at 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. She argued that no one cared because we were all awake, which really wasn't true. All of us had different schedules, so we don't have to set rules on our own or be quiet or loud. It ended there, and now I'm actually wondering if I'm the asshole or not for doing my laundry early. And so the consensus is you're not the asshole. And my favorite comment was, the first comment was, to be honest, I had "you're the asshole" locked and loaded until I read this gem. Her laundry at 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. Fuck that. If Little Miss Night Shift can do her laundry at 1 in the goddamn morning, then you can do it at 7:30 a.m.
I agree.
I hate having roommates.
And then it says, time for new laundry rules for everyone or for no one. But so I can kind of understand how she was being considerate, but I don't feel like if you thought no one was there, why would you be faulted? You know what I mean?
You know what? I feel like the asshole here is actually the roommate who didn't take their clothes out of the
right.
washer.
Yeah. Right.
None of this would have happened if they had just
done the right thing.
But
right.
I also am that roommate who doesn't get their stuff out. Just ask Andy.
Nick is the roommate too. I'll be like, "Oh, do you want to move them from the washer to the dryer, or you just want them to get moldy?"
That's happened one time.
If we were to do math, it'd be 1 times 100.
You run a Brock.
The thing, yeah, I run a Brock. When I lived with Steve, our dryer, we couldn't get the notification when it was done to turn off, so it would make this really loud noise, being like, "Hey, I'm done," and that would always wake us up. So we had to talk, "Hey, if you're gonna do the laundry, do it we were fine with it because both of us are pretty deep sleepers. But I feel like Joe is a light sleeper, and if I did my laundry...
You feel like I'm a light sleeper, or I am a light sleeper?
You are a light sleeper.
Yeah.
So you would be the one to be like, hey, can you not do your laundry while I'm sleeping?
And now you tell me this, and I so associate with that dryer, because I also make loud, annoying noises when I'm done. So same dryer, same.
I don't think she's the asshole.
I think I agree. That was a consensus. You're not the asshole.
Okay, so I have another one, and this is actually you picked like the really like lighthearted ones.
You went deep.
I went deep.
No, all of mine are very like I have all like mine are not deep. Like mine, I have the next one is like, am I the asshole for yelling at my husband when he farted?
See, mine is, am I the asshole because she's in a fight with her family because she created a pregnancy jar?
Okay. Oh, Jesus!
So she has been married to her husband for 6 years. They want kids, but it hasn't happened for them yet. She explains, friends and family are causing us constant stress about having a baby soon, but it's obviously something we can't control. We only wish that they'd stop, but to no avail. So she decided to come up with something to do about it. So what she did is I come up with an idea, stupid I know, and that is to have an empty jar and call it pregnancy jar. I carry it with me in my bag whenever I'm with friends and family, and every time someone asks when my husband and I are going to have a baby, I pull my jar out and ask them to drop $1 in there for asking.
Oh my God.
Even though she said she gets puzzled looks, people would eventually put $1 in the jar. Oh. It actually worked because most of them stopped asking after about 4 months.
Okay.
So there was an incident, though, where... She wrote, last week we had dinner at my parents' house. My brother had come back from his business trip, and while we were eating, he asked if my husband and I were going to have a kid. My husband paused. I got up from the chair and made my way to where my brother was sitting with my jar in my hand and asked him to drop $1 for the question he asked. He stared at me, then laughed nervously, asking if I was being serious. Everyone was looking at us. Oh. He said no. He didn't have to pay me, but I told him he didn't have to ask either, so here we are. I could tell he felt embarrassed. He immediately reached into his pocket, pulled out his wallet, and put $1 in my jar. I made my way back to my seat and sat down and resumed eating like nothing happened. Oh. It got awkward afterwards. My mom pulled me into the kitchen later to tell me that I embarrassed my brother in front of his wife and family and said I should quit acting childish by running around with a jar, demanding others put money in it. I told her they should quit asking then. She went on about how they're worried for us since we are in our mid-30s and don't have much time left if we want at least one healthy baby.
Fuck you.
I got upset and she started arguing. My husband and I left and we haven't seen them in days. Except I got a call from my sister basically siding with my mom and the others saying I'm being childish.
Oh my God. No. The mom is the asshole. The family's the asshole.
I think everyone else is the asshole.
Everybody
is. You should never, ever ask anyone when they're going to have children.
Yeah.
I think what is it? Everyone here sucks. But also like, If she came to me with a jar and I didn't have cash, I'd say, sorry, I don't have cash. You take Venmo.
I would be like,
where's your QR code?
Well, that's the thing I was going to, because nobody carries cash right now. So.
Right. This is obviously in the deep south.
Or I'd be like, hold on. I only have a $5. I want to make change. Hold on.
I think the point of like doing the jar to like get people to start thinking about like, hey,
stop asking.
You are asking this question, so I've come up with a solution to be like,
right. And I agree with her with this whole like she said it perfectly. It's like you don't have to pay me, but you also don't have to ask that me. Question.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, so here we are. You ask
and
the
they're
question,
trying
here's
too.
my answer to that question.
And so they're trying to have kids, right?
They're trying to have kids, but you don't know anyone's situation.
Right. And the mom, like, I know I said fuck the mom, but like the fact that she's like, you're in your 30s and you don't have much viable time left.
Yeah, you don't know what's
Mom,
going
you don't
on.
have much viable time on this earth if you're going to continue that nasty ass like method. Fuck off, bitch.
I have a solution. Just be like a gay man. Because I feel like these are not conversations.
You're right.
Yeah, I know. Right?
You're right.
Nobody ever asked us when we're having kids.
No, never.
She is going to transition to a man and then be in a man-man relationship. And then there won't be any conversations about babies.
Exactly.
All right, so let's do this last one. You were going to tell us about this woman asking if she's an asshole for yelling at her husband for farting.
Yes. And so I have two, actually. The farting one is like short. And then the other one is like 2020, like very like current, like social media. Okay. So AITA for yelling at my husband when I thought he farted while I was eating. And And I think about Nick.
Did he do it in her face?
We'll have to find out.
Okay.
As I was preparing a plate of food, I heard a loud... I can't read this series.
Would you like me to?
Okay, as I was preparing a plate of food, I heard a loud passing gas sound, and I was convinced it was my husband, and it sounded like one of his farts. He's always been immature in farts and thinks it's funny. No, it's because farts are funny. But on Christmas Eve, he farted while we were at dinner, the dinner table, to annoy his brothers, but I honestly thought it was beyond disgusting. Obviously, we were in front of his whole family, and his mom and grandma already scolded him, so I didn't say anything to him. Fast forward to today, I'm in the living room with my husband, our sons, and my husband's grandma. I hear a loud farting sound, and I just lose it. I start yelling at my husband, telling him he's disgusting and that I lost my appetite for his fault. I throw my food in the trash and storm off. Everyone's just silent looking at me. I then get 7 to 8 messages from my husband telling me that I'm an asshole, and I shouldn't react without knowing because it wasn't him, but his grandma, who has colon cancer and consequently has a bladder bag, and she can't control her passing gas. Now I feel like a horrible person, and my response is, you a gasshole, girl.
I was like, I love it because I was like, please let the twist be with grandma. Please
Yes!
let the twist be that it was grandma.
Oh, you wanted a twist, hey?
Oh.
But like, this is why everyone needs to laugh at farts. Everyone.
But you don't have to make a big deal. Like, you don't have to scold people for farting.
Yeah, Nick, don't scold people for farting.
I don't ever scold you. I just ask you to say, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
Me and my sister laugh about it all the time because she does it a lot. And then I'm just like, let's stop.
Farts are the best. I think that they're hilarious.
I grew up in a house that, like, that was not...
Y'all were so repressed.
You were deprived. Like, you know what?
You excuse yourself to the other room if you
outside.
can.
Your childhood was fartless, and it was like holding in a fart.
You like had a fart corner.
Well, and I still, like, to this day, when I fart, I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry.
No.
Excuse
You're
me.
not. No. You go, ew, I'm disgusted by myself. Any bodily, if he burps or farts, it's like, God, I'm foul. And it's like, we're human beings, and better out than in.
Poor grandma. She was a gasshole.
Yeah, I love that. But also, I'm sorry. Like, you didn't know that your grandma has colon cancer?
Right.
Like, come on. You didn't know she had a bag and everything? Like,
Right.
okay, girl.
Right. Okay, this will be my last one. And then this is just because I was reading this and I was like, this is just so very 2023/2024. So, AITA, am I the asshole, for posting an edited compilation video of my sister parking her car on the internet.
Okay.
I, 28 male, live with my sister, 30 female. I'm an Uber driver and content creator. I don't have a college degree, but my sister does and works as a software engineer. One of the content channels I maintain has videos of driving fails. On that channel, the videos with women drivers and the thumbnails tend to get more views and result in better monetization. Cool, whatever. Lately, I've been having trouble finding good content, so I use some videos from our closed caption TV of my sister parking her car outside on the street. My sister doesn't have any issue with parking or anything, so I edit multiple videos together, and one with an obstacle on the road out of view of the camera to make it seem like she was struggling. She found the video open on the site because I accidentally left the tab open, and she saw my computer screen and now is upset and called me an asshole despite the fact that I explained to her it was just a fake edited content. She berated me and accused me of not having my life together and guilt-tripped me because I don't pay rent, although I contribute to the bills, and I'm grateful she lets me stay here since our parents kicked me out. She owns her house and I pay, and she pays a mortgage, but obviously I don't have equity. So...
You're the asshole.
100%. Like, my thing with this, I was like, this is so, like, current because it's like, I'm a content creator and I make fake videos about fails of driving.
There's the thing right there. Like, first of all, you're embarrassing your sister. You're
without her consent. That's my thing.
Without her consent.
That's my
thing.
thing.
And you're embarrassing her by making it seem like she doesn't know how to do something when she does.
Right.
And you're the asshole for posting that and making your viewers believe something that isn't real.
Correct. And I was like... My biggest thing is, like, it's non-consensual, like, publishing of something. And, like, if she wanted, she could sue him. I would sue my brother.
That brother should have to wait 78 years or whatever it is for Steamboat Willie to be...
For copyright, yeah. Full circle. Full circle. Now all I just need to do is touch the dick again. The Dee Can't Her.
Oh, I will.
Where did it go, Andy? I don't see it. Is it in your butt?
It's sitting on the Golden Girl right now.
Uh-huh. That's the second one. You got two. You got a pair of D's. That's all I have.
Awesome. All right. Anybody got an I Spy?
Well, we're going to do the one about people who reply all to.
Oh, yeah, that was
Oh my god, that was the I Spy at the beginning of the episode.
Yeah,
That was our introduction.
Yeah, we did that in the introduction.
Introduction.
Oh, is that how you say introduction? Because you're on stage.
Yeah, actually, we didn't talk about it because we weren't recording back then.
Oh.
Back then, it was so long ago.
So it's like, I Spy when people reply all. Actually, you know what? It because not only that one, but like I also had one where it was like everybody starts replying all because I'm like coming up to my convention time, and we get a lot of like emails, and it's like everybody's on it, but then everybody starts responding, and I'm like, that's a question that probably should be taken off this chain. So
is it like all the patrons of the convention?
No. It's like everybody who's working, but it's like there's a question that's specific for that person's job,
right.
And I don't need to know it. And so, but like when you have ones that go out and it's like 500-600 people,
that's a
and
lot.
they all reply all. That's a problem.
Creates that chain that just never ends.
My email on my phone, I don't have enough memory in there to handle that.
Girl.
My Wi-Fi can't handle that kind of like.
Maybe it's time to offload to iCloud storage. Upgrade your whatever storage.
I have a tangential one.
Ooh, tangential.
As people...
That's a drag name.
as people use technology more and more, why do people need to respond to emails with emojis? Because now, like...
Can you do that?
Well, you can, and like Microsoft Office now will send you a separate email when like your coworkers have done a thumbs up about an announcement.
No.
It's nothing except a freaking thumbs
No.
up. Like, I don't need that affirmation.
Save that shit for Teams. Save it for Teams.
Well, actually,
but even in Teams, like, do you ever have that one employee or coworker that always has to have the last
Yes.
thing? That drives me crazy. There's one specific employee I work with where if you send them something, they will always respond okay or thumbs up or
I don't need a response.
I don't need a response. We were just talking.
Right.
I've had to have that conversation with somebody that works with me where it's like, if I say thank you in an email or like, that is me saying this is done.
Right. You don't need to respond to this.
Please do not respond with you're welcome. Or
right.
My pleasure.
Or
like
YW.
Why the fuck are you sending me an email that says you are, and if you're doing that to clients, absolutely not.
Yeah.
The client is the like if they say thank you, then it is done. Done. Leave them alone. No my pleasure. No you're welcome. Nothing.
No thumb emoji.
No thumbs up.
Just save that shit for Teams.
You know what I think is funny is like when people do that with like if you're you have an appointment and they're just reminding you about your appointment like for anything and then you send a thumbs up back. I'm like, no. Read it. It says "see to confirm." It's like,
oh my god!
I'm so good about that with you. I always do that. It's a why, right? Why are you?
No, it's a C.
Oh, it's a C. You're right.
Nick isn't doing it. Nick's giving you the thumbs up.
I do it, and then it's like, thank you. See you then. Like, I'm very punctual with those when they come through because I know Paul's sending them.
All right. Well, everyone, have a great week. Thank you.
Special thanks to Andrew Smith and Nick Stone for producing the show. If you like us, please follow us at tugayspod on Instagram and visit us online at tugayspod.com. You can find us anywhere you can stream podcasts. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and let us know topics you'd like to hear. And always remember, stay safe, stay classy, stay sassy, and always stay a little bit trashy. See you next week.